Good afternoon and Salam Malaysia Madani. Thanks for joining us. You're watching World Today. Before we begin, here's a brief look at today's top stories. The US Federal Reserve has kept interest rates steady at 3.5 to 3.75% for a fifth straight meeting as inflation remains elevated. Fed Chair Kevin Walsh says the economy remains resilient despite recent shocks. US inflation has hit a 3-year high, fueled by tariffs, surging energy prices, and strong demand from the AI boom. US President Donald Trump has vowed a strong response after Iran attacked American bases in Jordan as fighting flared again across West Asia. The escalation ended a brief lull that had raised hopes of renewed talks. Saudi Arabia also reported drone attacks on its soil facilities, while fresh strikes were reported in Iraq and near Iran's border. The United Nations has warned that escalating attacks involving Iran, the United States and Saudi Arabia could widen the conflict in West Asia. The UN urged all sides to halt hostilities and return to negotiations, warning that more countries being drawn into the fighting would further destabilize the region. Australia's internet regulator has launched legal action against Telegram, accusing the messaging platform of failing to remove extremist content. The E-Safety Commissioner says the material includes video linked to the Christchurch and Buffalo attacks. The action comes as Telegram founder Pavel Durov also faces terrorism-related charges in Russia. National weightlifter Muhammad Shahmi Nur Ghazali has made history on his Commonwealth Games debut, winning gold in the men's 94kg event. The victory takes Malaysia gold medal tally to 6, surpassing its 5-gold target ahead of schedule. Chief of the mission, Dr. Awalan Abdul Aziz, says Malaysia is now eyeing bonus medals in the remaining event. FIFA has opened disciplinary proceedings against several Argentina players and an official over alleged misconduct at the World Cup. The probe includes allegations of assault, unsporting behaviour and discrimination. FIFA is also investigating a political banner displayed after Argentina's semi-final win over England. The US Federal Reserve has kept interest rates unchanged as American households continue to grapple with high prices. Inflationary pressures have intensified amid the US war with Iran, with surging energy costs pushing up prices across the economy. The Fed held rates at 3.5 to 3.75% for a fifth straight meeting, with Chair Kevin Walsh defending the decision amid persistent inflation. Walsh said the US economy continues to show impressive resilience despite recent shocks. Nominated by President Donald Trump, Walsh has faced pressure from the White House to cut rates and boost the economy even as prices continue to rise. US inflation has hit a 3-year high, driven by tariffs, surging energy and fertilizer costs amid the Iran war and strong demand for AI boom. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge rose 4.1% year-on-year in May, with fresh data due later this week. US President Donald Trump has vowed a tough response after Iran attacked American bases in Jordan as fighting flared again across West Asia. The renewed hostilities ended a brief lull that had raised hope of a return to negotiations.
Well, I can give you a report. I've been briefed. It's a little more of the same, but it's going to be straightening out. It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime, we're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them. They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but, they tried shooting it last night.
Saudi Arabia and the United States reported strikes on fighter bases in Iraq, while Israel accused Iran-backed Hezbollah of violating a truce. Saudi Arabia has also reported drone attacks on its oil facilities for 2 straight days, blaming Iraqi armed groups allied with Tehran. Iran, meanwhile, launched missile at US ally Jordan as Iranian state media reported an American strike near Iran's border with Iraq. Hours after Trump vowed to hit back, US Central Command says it has launched fresh airstrikes on Iran. The strikes began Wednesday night. Iranian state television showed rescue teams searching through rubble at a residential building on Kermsh Island following an attack. In the meantime, the United Nations has warned that a surge in attacks involving Iran, the United States and Saudi Arabia risks widening the conflict in West Asia. The UN says the latest escalation underscores the urgent need to end hostilities and return to negotiations.
Well, the Secretary General has been worried for some time that if the parties do not return to negotiations, you could have a widening of the conflict, and that seems to be what has been happening in recent hours. He has already made clear his concerns about any renewed fighting and any escalation and widening of the conflict. So these are not positive developments, and he wants to make sure that the parties can cease fighting and again return to the diplomatic efforts, including the mediation efforts being pressed forward by Pakistan, Qatar, and others.
The UN warned that more countries becoming drawn into the fighting would further worsen an already volatile situation. Thousands of wildfire evacuees in Spain have begun returning home as improved conditions help firefighters stabilize some of the country's worst blazes. Evacuation orders have been lifted in Avia province, an area near Madrid, although some residents returned to find their homes destroyed.
Bueno, pues un desastre. Nada más hay que verlo, lo que ha pasado, cómo está todo. Todos mis recuerdos, todo lo tenía aquí. Lo hizo mi papá hace 40 años y se ha perdido todo.
Gracias a Dios nuestra casa por dentro está bien, gracias a los bomberos que han estado trabajando, jugándose la vida. Pero por fuera está totalmente quemada, no tenemos luz, ni agua, ni internet. Pero bueno, saldremos adelante todos juntos.
In neighbouring France, firefighters are battling fresh blazes as the country faces its fourth heat wave of the summer. More than 600 people were evacuated in the southeastern Var region, while another fire broke out near Dijon. Europe has faced successive heat waves and severe drought this year, creating dangerous conditions for wildfires across the continent. Three firefighters have died battling wildfires in Greece as strong winds fanned flames across Crete and Peloponnese. Two were killed after becoming trapped between fire fronts near the Cretan village of Kriaversi, while a third died in a separate blaze in the Peloponnese. Residents and tourists were evacuated from several villages in Crete as high winds pushed the fire out of control near popular holiday areas. In Brazil, 5 people have died after powerful gusts of wind brought chaos to Rio de Janeiro and parts of Sao Paulo state. Residents of Rio de Janeiro were taken by surprise when winds of up to 100 kilometers an hour hit just before rush hour. The fire department said in a statement that 2 people had died when a wall collapsed in the city of Rio de Janeiro and a fisherman was missing in the coastal town of Tarituba. In Santos, in the state of Sao Paulo, wind gusts of up to 111 km per hour caused widespread damage and a homeless person was killed by a fallen tree. Operations were affected at several major airports in Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. Santos Dumont Airport, Rio's downtown airport serving mostly domestic flights, in a statement said that it had suspended operations for about 2 hours. According to Rio firefighters, more than 90 trees had fallen due to the gusts. Many areas of the city suffered blackouts before power was restored. More than 100 tourists have been rescued after a powerful snowstorm left them stranded in Argentina's Catamarca province. Footage showed vehicles buried in snow near Fiambala along a high-altitude road more than 4,500 meters above sea level. Rescue teams used heavy machinery to clear the road and free stranded vehicles before moving the tourists to safety. Local media reported 2 people were hospitalized with hypothermia. Up next, new sentences of more than 1,000 years in prison for gang members in El Salvador.
Biar aku seorang yang mati, kau yang tinggal teruskan perjuangan. Kau hancurkan petualang negara. Buru sampai dapat dan hancurkan mereka. Biarpun diriku tiada.
ACON in El Salvador has handed prison sentences of more than 1,000 years each to 2 gang members convicted of drug trafficking, money laundering and other crimes. The 2 were among 28 members of the El Gremio gang convicted as President Nayib Bukele continues his sweeping crackdown on gangs. More than 90,000 suspected gang members have been arrested since the campaign began in 2022. El Salvador has also introduced life sentences for serious crimes, replacing the previous maximum term of 60 years. Bukele's crackdown has been credited with sharply reducing gang violence, but has also drawn criticism from human rights groups over alleged arbitrary detentions, death in custody, and a lack of judicial independence. Australia's internet regulator has launched legal actions against Telegram, accusing the messaging platform of failing to remove extremist content. The E-Safety Commissioner says the case involves videos linked to major acts of extremist violence, including the Christchurch and Buffalo attacks.
We have alleged that Telegram has failed to detect, deter, and disrupt pro-terror material on its service, has failed to remove pro-terror material after becoming aware of it, including after reports by Australian end users were made, and has failed to remove accounts, groups, and channels connected to that content.
Telegram, which has more than 1 billion monthly active users, is one of the world's most downloaded messaging apps. The action comes as Telegram founder Pavel Durov also faces charges in Russia over allegations the platform was used to facilitate terrorist activity. South Korean automaker Kia will begin producing fully electric vehicles in Mexico as part of a $649 million investment. Production of the EV3 model will start August 4th at Kia's plant in Nuevo Leon, with a significant share destined for the Mexican market. The move comes as Mexico pushes for greater electric vehicle adoption and seeks to diversify its markets amid growing U.S. trade protectionism. Mexico is also looking to attract new technologies, including EV batteries, while reducing its reliance on imports. The announcement comes as other major automakers expand U.S. production amid proposed changes to North American auto trade rules. Samsung Electronics has posted a massive surge in second quarter earnings, driven by strong global demand for memory chips powering artificial intelligence. The South Korean tech giant's operating profit jumped more than 19-fold from a year earlier to 89.49 trillion won, or about $62 billion. Revenue more than doubled to 171.49 trillion won, while net profit surged nearly 1,300%. The strong results come as demand for high bandwidth memory, or HBM chips, continues to grow, with tech giants ramping up investment in AI data centers. Analysts say Samsung is also benefiting from higher prices and shipments of conventional memory chips, with the AI boom expected to continue supporting the sector. Microsoft has beaten market expectation in its latest quarter, boosted by strong growth in its cloud and artificial intelligence businesses. The US tech giant reported $90 billion in revenue and $35.8 billion in net profit for the quarter ended in June. Microsoft says its AI-powered Copilot now has more than 30 million paid users as demand for AI tool continues to grow. The company also reported gains from its investment in Anthropic and OpenAI, with OpenAI contributing $480 million to quarterly net profit. Microsoft now expects to spend $175 billion this year, mostly on chips and infrastructure to support AI and cloud demand. The strong results sent Microsoft shares up more than 8% in after-hours trading. Facebook parent Meta, meanwhile, has missed Wall Street profit expectation as heavy spending on artificial intelligence and one-off charges weighed on earnings. Net profit fell 14% from a year earlier to $15.8 billion, despite revenue jumping 28% to $60.8 billion. Meta says it plans to spend up to $145 billion this year on AI data centers and chips, nearly double last year's level. Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg says AI is already boosting Meta's core business and creating new opportunities, including plans to offer cloud computing services. But investors remain wary of the scale of spending, sending Meta shares down as much as 12% in after-hours trading. In sport, Glasgow 2026, Mohamed Shami clinches Malaysia's 6th goal on debut.
4 tahun penantian, ribuan jam latihan tanpa henti. Semuanya memuncak pada satu detik. Semangat, perjuangan, kejayaan. Bersedia untuk tamasya yang paling dinantikan. Sukan Commonwealth Glasgow dari 24 Julai hingga 3 Ogos. Saksikan grandstand laporan harian setiap hari, sesi 1, 6 petang hingga 9 malam dan sesi 2, 1 pagi hingga 4 pagi. Ikuti juga sorotan harian 2 petang. Semuanya eksklusif di Sukan Plus, saluran Astro 806 dan pun streama langsung di RTM3.
Starting off our sports segment this afternoon with news from Glasgow. National weightlifter Mohamed Shahmi Noor Ghazali made history on his Commonwealth Games debut by winning the men's 94kg gold medal. Malaysia have now amassed a total of 6 gold medals, including one won by national para-long jump star Dato' Abdul Latif Romli. The 22-year-old secured the title with a combined lift of 347 kg, comprising 150 kg in the snatch and 197 kg in the clean and jerk, latter setting a new games record. Competing at the Scottish event campus, Armadillo, Mohamed Shahmi aged Canada's Alex Belmar, who claimed silver with a total of 346 kg, while Australia's Oliver Riley-Saxton took bronze with an overall lift of 336 kg. The gold medal also marked the biggest achievement of the 22-year-old's career to date, surpassing his success at the SEA Games. The victory also extended Malaysia's weightlifting camp success at the Games. Meanwhile, Malaysia is now eyeing bonus medals at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games after reaching its target of 5 golds and 2 silver ahead of schedule. Chief of the mission, Dato' Awalan Abdulaziz, is optimistic more medals could come from lawn bowls, weightlifting, track cycling and judo. He also congratulated the medalists, saying their success reflects the sacrifices and challenges they have overcome in preparing for the Games. Defending Washington Open champion Alex de Minaur beat Stefanos Tsitsipas 6-4, 3-6, 6-3 to set up an all-Australian second-round clash with Tim Kruse-Hewitt. Seeking to defend his crown in the US capital, top seed de Minaur broke back to take the first set and rallied in the third to overcome the Greek former world number 3. De Minaur off to a shaky start, surviving a break point in the fourth game before handing Tsitsipas the sixth game with 2 consecutive double faults. But he fought back immediately with 2 breaks of his own and then survived another break point in the 10th game to win the first set 6-4. Tsitsipas broke first again in the second set and held on to force a deciding set. But de Minaur took advantage of an unforced error by Tsitsipas in the third set, fourth game, and held firm for the win. He will play 17-year-old Hewitt in the next round. De Minaur's victory came despite a poor record against Tsitsipas, who had won 12 of their prior 13 encounters. In women's draw, Filipina rising star Alexandra Ayala dumped out defending champion Leylah Fernandez to reach the quarterfinals. Ayala, 21, defeated the 7th seed from Canada 6-2, 7-6, battling back from 5-1 down in an epic second set. Ayala took the first set 6-2, exploiting multiple enforced errors from Fernandez. The roles reversed early in the second set, which Fernandez led 5-1. But Ayala battled back to lead 6-5 before Fernandez finally held serve to force a tiebreak. Ayala stormed into a 3-love tiebreak lead. Fernandez gained a foothold after a long rally, but Ayala's stunning cross-court forehand gave her 5 match points. It continues a breakout season for Ayala, who last month made global headlines, beating Igor Swiatek at Wimbledon to become the first Philippines player to reach the last 16 of a Grand Slam and has soared to 28th in the world ranking. Moving on to football, FIFA has opened disciplinary proceedings against several Argentina players and an official over their conduct at the World Cup. They include Nahuel Molina, Thiago Almada, Leandro Paredes and official Roberto Ayala over allegations including assault and unsporting behaviour. FIFA is also investigating an incident after Argentina's 2-1 semi-final win over England when players displayed a banner reading "The Falklands are Argentine." The probe covers possible breaches involving non-sporting demonstrations, team misconduct, discrimination and match security. FIFA also cited discriminatory chants and gestures, late kick-offs, security protocol breaches and the display of inappropriate messages. FIFA President Gianni Infantino says a proposal to create a private subsidiary to maximize the commercial value of the World Cup is an opportunity, not an obligation. The plan has drawn strong backlash, with FIFA reportedly considering selling stakes in some of its major competitions.
Well, FIFA for Enterprise, or FFE, is actually a proposal, an offer. It's part of a democratic process, a consultation process, and above all, it is an opportunity, but not an obligation. And as I said, it kicks off the consultation process. If and only if it is approved by the majority of our 211 member associations and the FIFA Council.
Media reports say Infantino has told FIFA member associations they could each receive $40 million if they back the proposal. Reports also claim Infantino could later benefit from the venture after his expected final term ends in 2031. Discussions are reportedly underway with financial advisors and potential investors, including Thrive Capital and an arm of JP Morgan Chase.
Last 16 with the 7-4.
Barcelona has approved a plan to double the city's tourism tax beginning April.
Mission Marine Affairs and Fisheries Ministry. Yes, as Thailand as well. There are tourist spots in Mexico. And that concludes today's edition of World Today. Tune in to Malaysia Tonight on RTM World and TV1 later this evening at 8:30 p.m. Alternatively, you can stream us live on RTM Click's website and mobile application. Until next time, I'm Sahih Samsudin, Malaysia Madani, kesejahteraan dinikmati. Thank you.
Aku berjanji kepada